Greetings. Today's quote is, saying, "That's just who I am," is a lazy way of avoiding personal growth. Now, I just had somebody close to me blow something off that they should have done, and when I asked them about it, they started sidestepping it with this type of excuse where they said, well, I decided I wasn't really that interested in doing that because that's just not who I am, which is a little bit of like an inverted version of the same thing. And the reality is, they just didn't feel like putting in the work. They didn't feel like stretching themselves out of their comfort zone to go out and actually make something happen. And I see this kind of stuff happen all the time. And it's the same people who tell me these kind of things that when I ask them about achieving a goal or, reaching a result that they say they really want, and they almost always talk about external forces being aligned against them and, it just wasn't meant to be. That's bullshit, okay? Getting anything you want is going to require some work. I mean, to me, that's just who I am is an alternative way of saying, well, I just don't really feel like it. Well, you know what? To get what you want in life, there's going to be a fair number of things that you may not really feel like doing in order to get there. But it's your ability to persevere through some of the things that you don't want to do to be able to do the things that you do want to do. And I'll give you a great example. I personally, when I was younger, I had an explosive temper. But it didn't take me long to realize that this was interfering with some of my friendships, it was interfering with relationships, and it was interfering with my work. So, I needed to figure out a way to just stop myself from just lashing out at people and, be able to hang on to my thoughts before they became words. Now, to this day, most often what happens when I get mad is I get quiet. But I figure, I can hang on to the emotion and think about, am I really upset? And if I am upset, what is it that I can do that will change the situation in a meaningful way? But that took time and it took effort. And I didn't feel like doing it because, there's probably a part of me that just, hey, I'm angry. Let me scream at someone. It felt good for me, felt awful for them. But to get what I wanted, I needed to learn how to control it. And by doing that, I've had much better results in my life than I think I would have if I hadn't addressed that particular thing. So, if you or someone you know has this particular kind of characteristic, I encourage you to either be honest with them or honest with yourself in a way that will allow you to move forward without having, this kind of escape door that allows you to just blow things off when you're just not feeling up to it, right? And a second piece of this that I think is important to mention. I think very often when people talk about change, they view it as some external force that is going to step in and bestow a new way of being upon them. But the reality is you've got to do the work. And one of my favorite examples is, if you want to learn to cook, buying a cookbook is an awesome first step. But, the cooking, if you want to make something, you're going to have to get in the kitchen and do it yourself. The chicken isn't going to cook itself, right? So you've got to be willing to put in the work to get things done and make it happen. So again, if you or someone you know uses this particular kind of excuse, be willing to gently be honest with them or gently be honest with yourself and figure out a way to start moving away from excuses that are reasons why you can't do something towards finding ways that you can change yourself so that you will start achieving the things that you really care about and want. All right? And with that, I wish you a great day, and we will see you soon.